Hello everyone, Jimmy is with you, and today we have another selection of stories. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. This is very important to me. Thank you for your support. Let's get started. First story today from the user Throw Rap Poporapam. Let's listen. English is not my first language, and this will be a long post because I want to vent. So if anyone reads this, sorry for the grammatical errors, I don't speak English. My 27 female brother, 25 male, is marrying Lena, 24 female. She doesn't have a family, so my family tried to make her feel really included. I liked her the few times I saw her until she started to get weird. I live 5 hours away from my family because I worked as Rita's, 98 female personal nurse. So I lived with her and I'm studying another degree, so I don't really have too much free time. The first time I met Lena almost 2 years ago, she came up to me saying that everyone in the family always talks about me or asks for me in every family reunion, and she wanted to meet me. I make a little talk with her, and then I went to talk with my aunts. The rest of the night, whenever I was talking to a member of my family, Lena would get into the conversation, even if it was private. I assumed she was trying to fit in and include herself, so I included her in the conversations, even though I found it uncomfortable. After that, she included herself all the time in any conversation I was having with anyone at any family gathering, but I would include her in the conversations. The problem started when they announced their engagement. They were going to announce it at a party, but before they announced it, I had to leave the place urgently because Rita had fallen out of the bathtub. My brother understood the urgency, and he took me to a room, just the two of us, to still tell me the news of his engagement before I leave. I congratulated and hugged him. But Lena ruined our moment because she complained, saying that the firstborn of the family, me, must be there. But I just ignored her, and my brother explained her that I had to leave. I have been taking care of Rita since before I graduated, and she always trusted in my skills as a nurse, and she's even paying for my second degree, which is a lot, so she became a third grandmother to me. And after falling in the bathroom, she broke her hip, and her health deteriorated greatly. It's just me and her pregnant great-grandchild who takes care of her. My mother also comes to the hospital to help me sometimes because Rita doesn't like to be touched by the hospital nurses. She hates when strangers touches her for some traumas from her childhood. A few months ago, Lena went out with the women of the family to try on wedding dresses, and one of my cousins told me that Lena kept complaining because I didn't went with them. Rita was sick and I was taking care of her. Lena knew that. On my mother's birthday, I invited her for a brunch. It was supposed to be a mother and daughter outing like we do every year, but Lena insisted on coming. My mother felt uncomfortable, but we included her in our brunch anyways. I can tell a lot of situations like that, where Lena pushed herself too hard to get close to me, even if I was always kind with her. She even had an argument with a cousin because of that. I reached my limit yesterday. Rita passed away 3 days ago, and not only am I really sad, but also my parents and brother, since everyone knew her, and she was a great woman. Rita wants us to bury her ashes in the cottage where she grew up. Rita's great-granddaughter surprised me with an arranged trip for the two of us to go and bury the ashes next week. I told my family that, and my mother said she wants to go too, but Lena got totally mad and started to complain, saying that we're going to a trip 2 days before the wedding. To be honest, I totally forgot about it, and I don't feel with the energy to go. My mother explained that we will only go to bury the ashes and come back literally the night before the wedding day, and that everything is actually ready. Lena continued complaining, and I snapped when she told me that I care more about an old lady who wasn't my family, and that I should care a lot more about her since she'll be my real family, my brother's wife and my niece's and nephew's mother, and the dead woman wasn't even my blood. I told Lena that Rita was like family to me, and that she's not even a friend to me, that she's not relevant in my life, and if it wasn't for my brother, I wouldn't even try to get along with her. Maybe I was mean, but I was sad and angry. I left the place while Lena was trying to argue with me, and she started to cry, saying that she only wanted to be family for me. I always wanted to make her feel included, but she crossed my boundaries and doesn't have empathy at all. She didn't even give me condolences when Rita passed away and kept talking about the wedding all day, while I made calls to take care of the funeral. Now I'm thinking that I don't even want to go to the wedding. I love my brother, and he even chose my bridesmaid dress, but I feel too bad to go. And I'm even thinking of cutting off contact with Lena because her behavior is too weird and dense. I'm just sad, and I want to cry all day because I lost the woman I considered my guide for 5 years for her wisdom. And I feel guilty for not wanting to go to my brother's wedding and make him feel sad, but I just don't want to deal with Lena anymore. Because next time I see her, I know I will surely fight with her if she makes another comment like that. Author update this story. First of all, I'm grateful to those who gave me good advice, even though others left weird comments and hadn't even read the post before leaving a comment. I want to clarify again that I always tried to make Lena feel welcome, and I always understood that she never had a family. But do I deserve to be treated without empathy? Why should I overflow with empathy for her when she never showed empathy for me? I'm grieving and can't even have peace right now because of her. I also got comments saying that I should treat her like a toddler, but that's just rude. She's a grown woman and should be treated like what she is. I think it would be insulting to treat her like a child. Talk to my parents about everything, and also to my brothers. In the conversation, I discovered things that Lena did and said that are even more weird. My mother said that Lena often makes comments like, "I'm more of a daughter to you than OP since she never visits you and I come all the time," which makes my mother uncomfortable. She also said that she explained a lot of times to Lena that she doesn't like physical touch, not even us hug her because she gets anxious and tense, but Lena just keeps hugging her. My mother also said that Lena speaks very badly of me, and Lena even said that I cried more because of Rita's death than I did because of my real grandfather's death, which is something really trash to say. My father said that a year ago, Lena approached him just to say, "Your second daughter," referring to herself, "knows you better than your first daughter, haha," comparing the gifts we both gave him for Father's Day, and he just laughed it off, but he taught. It was a weird comment to make. My father was the only one who always kinda disliked Lena, so now I know why. My younger brother also said that he heard many times how Lena complained about me not going to family gatherings, although she also complained about that in my face a few times. So it seems that we all shut down a lot of things because we wanted to understand her situation and make my brother happy. We live next to a poor neighborhood, and we know a lot of other people in the same situation as Line, so we tried to make her feel included. But I don't understand her behavior to me at all. At this point, I was crying most of all, because I just don't want to deal with this after Rita's death. And I felt bad for my brother. My brother hugged me and said he's sorry, and started to tear up, saying that it's difficult for him to deal with Lena's behavior too. He told me that Lena was always making hateful comments towards Rita. She never met Rita, and all of us in the family are sad about her departure because she was a great woman, the kindest woman who ever lived. So it's really sick that she hates an old woman who's dead. And every time my brother tried to explain to her that Rita was important to us, she just gave him a cold shoulder and didn't talk to him for the rest of the day. But he's trying really hard to help her, because she always wanted a family. I told him that we want to be her family, but we need to set boundaries, because those comments hurts. My father told him that this is just pushing her away from everyone, and he doesn't want someone talking ill about his daughter. My brother looked really tired. He actually looks really tired every day since a few months ago, but I want to think it's because of the wedding. I didn't told him that I was thinking in cutting contact with Lena, because I didn't want it at all to make him feel like he have to choose between her or me. Instead, I told him that we need to set a hard boundaries with her, so that in the future, we can have a healthy coexistence and she can heal her mind, because we have been too gentle so far. The situation is already at its limit. I didn't talk with Lena at all, so I suppose my brother talked with her really seriously. The wedding is still ongoing, and I will go just to show my support to my brother. But at this point, I just feel that he's making a wrong decision, because honestly, I don't think Lena's is a mentally stable person. Actually, she's not even a good person in my eyes anymore. But I don't want to say something and be the jealous big sister who ruins his brother relationship. So I will just stay in silence, letting everything flow. I just want to go to the trip and have some of mental peace until the wedding day comes. I don't feel mentally well enough to argue right now, or to feel even more guilty because of how I'm dealing with all of this. I just want to bury Rita's ashes with her great-granddaughter and my mother. Sorry for the really bad English. I write almost everything from the translator. Author edited the story. Yes, we tried to put boundaries a lot of times, It's not like we will hit her or be aggressive so she could understand, but I'll admit we've all been too soft and understanding of her out of pity. Lena just doesn't want to understand. Listen. The others complains even when someone talks seriously. And the incident she had with me and my cousin only showed that when someone talks to her seriously, she becomes the victim or gets madly angry. Even what my brother said made it clear to us that she's just maybe never going to respect boundaries. So it's better for me to just stop trying and just cut contact with her at least for this and next week, until I feel better and ready to talk about this again. Author add the mini update, let's listen. My brother already knows everything that Lena did. Like I said in the post, he's also tired of her behavior, but we can't do anything about their relationship if he wants to stay. My father had a conversation with him a few hours ago to tell him that we're worried, and if he wants to, thinking better about the wedding. But my brother said that he's fine, only tired, and will continue with the wedding. So yeah, we can't do anything but show my brother that we're with him and try to help him to open his eyes. But people have to understand that we can't help him in an aggressive way, saying that Lena is a trash or kicking her out of the family, because that will only benefit her, as she can take that opportunity to manipulate my brother by making herself the victim again. Dealing with a person full of traumas and childhood problems is not easy at all. She does not know what basic limits are, and now that she knows them, she does not want to respect them. But we can't be aggressive with her because she's not a mentally well person. Don't blame my brother if you don't understand what it's like to be in a toxic relationship. He's not to blame for anything, and he's just a victim. What I think about this story, I have a good feeling that things are going to get further messy soon. This whole situation with Lena, and all honestly, is pretty creepy. I believe Lena is likely insecure or potentially jealous, and the behavior she has is a little concerning to say. I don't know what might happen, but I won't be surprised if an update comes again. Let's check the users' comments. All of the comments included in the post were so incredibly frustrating. After the first post, everyone wanted OOP to bend over backwards Lena. It didn't matter that OOP was wildly uncomfortable or that she'd tried to gently set boundaries. All that mattered was that Lena had a hard life and therefore deserved grace and understanding. But OP gave her plenty of both. And after the second post, it was all about how OP needed to stop her brother from marrying this woman. She needed to save him from what may be or become an abusive situation. But her brother is a grown man and is making his own decisions. Managing Lena's mental health or her angry when faced with boundaries is not OOP's responsibility. Managing her brother's relationship is not OOP's responsibility. Managing her family's relationships with Lena is not OOP's responsibility. Where is her grace and understanding after losing someone she loved? After her future, SIL refused everyone's boundaries and badmouthed OP? After her brother chose to be with a woman that treated him and his family like trash? Every single person in this story has their own trash and baggage, and none of it gets to unilaterally outweigh OP's. I mean, from Lena's perspective, she grew up without a family and is obviously very excited to have one. At the same time, Lena believes she is entitled to close relationship with everyone simply because she is marrying into the family. She doesn't understand that relationships but be built up and earned over time, rather than just happening from day one. I understand OP is frustrated, and that Lena is way out of line with her comments, especially towards Rita, RIP. But OP and her family didn't once sit down and tell her clearly that her attempts to form a bond with everyone are actually pushing them away. My assumption is that Lena has a lack of understanding of how family relationships work. Yeah, Lena is really immature, but this whole situation could be solved by proper communication, rather than just letting it continue on and on to the point of annoyance. Here the video has come to an end, but do not rush to get upset. You will have another second video today. Thank you all for your support. I love you all. Bye-bye.